Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, I've been like Annika Rice. Does anyone remember Annika Rice, Treasure Hunt? I left Liverpool at 5 o'clock this morning. Jack Bauer's got nothing on me, I'm telling you. So, okay, I am a Chief Awesome Officer. Definitely, my title is changing after today. So, thanks for the invite. It's great to see you here. We work with in-house teams. We do a lot of work with Nationwide Building Society, and their average cost per hire has gone from £3,000 digitally to £69.75p. It's a shitload of cash. Shitload of cash. They love us. They love us. Secretly, we've got this little bus going around the whole of the UK grabbing candidates, and that's only a joke. But it's a tough fight out there, isn't it? Candidates, people, vacancies. It's really hard. You've got agencies giving you grief left, right, and centre. Behaviour, human behaviour's changed. They are online. What are you doing to go above and beyond to connect with these people? Because they are out there. Not many hands went out there when Alan asked the question around Google. Your candidates are out there now, searching away right now. Google is like the biggest high street in the world. It's like the biggest candidate universe you could ever hope for. How hard are you working to connect with these people? We're going to be talking about that. By the way, these slides are on our slide share, so they've been getting tweeted away in here. Don't forget to tweet and ask me questions. Be nice and don't heckle. Don't heckle, don't tweet heckle. I can't answer back while I'm on stage. It's not fair. So, basically, we all know that everything's going digital. What this anchors is the fact that digital marketing, which is actually, if you think about it, you're marketing towards candidates. I was at a talk with a lovely Sue over here, who's a ninja, by the way. She's a ninja. But I was at a talk on Tuesday, and lots of resourcing managers and lots of resourcing directors talk about talent pools and how do we define a talent pool and all this. But in the world of retail, so we work with like Tesco's, the moment they see your brand is a 0 moment of truth. That's when they connect. Not when they're in the ATS to die. The moment they touch your brand. If I didn't start trying to make a relationship for Tesco's or Dulux or any of our other clients that we work with at that 0 moment of truth, it will cost us tens of thousands of pounds. So you have to be thinking almost, we've got to market to these people. We've got to bring some marketing tactics in and some communications in. So when is the last time you ever bought anything from an advert in a paper? You just don't do it, do you? And lots of people put adverts so that they can see it. Job adverts, but by the way, has anyone ever written a bad job advert? Hey? They're all brilliant. If I was you, I'd go out and write a shit advert. It will go viral. It will go viral. That number there, a third of UK views are on a mobile. Who's got a mobile responsive careers website? Holy shit. By the end of this year, half your traffic will come from a phone or an iPad. And I guess you care about candidate journey and candidate experience. Yeah? So how does your candidate connect with your brand on a phone if they're like this? They can't do it. And Google loves mobile responsive. Google loves mobile responsive. People look at their phones 150 times a day. I look at the phone more than my wife. And she's glad about that. That's my only wife joke, Alan, I promise. Always get told off. So the thing is as we move into all this, and as we talk about social recruitment and content marketing and how we connect with people, everything that we do gives us more visibility online. Everything that we do. And everybody comes into our agency and says, Dave, do you know a secret Jedi mind trick that's going to get me to the top of Google? I want to be #1 now. Well, 5 years ago, I was like Yoda, and I did know Jedi mind tricks, and I'd just use a bit of the Force, and there'd be a little trinkle of the Force, and things would happen. It's not like that anymore. Google's got great at ranking great work. And one of the things you need to think about is, and people forget this, is Google has a customer. No way. It's all of us. We are Google's customer. They have the greatest high street in the universe that we know of currently. They used to give us relevant results. So everybody uses Google, gives you what you're looking for really, really quick, and it still does. But now it wants to give you all a great experience. Okay? So I was taking you shopping for shoes, right? We'd go in and out of every shop. We'd go back to the same first shop we went in and buy those shoes. But the experience we have when we go into those shops, you know, do we like it? Do we get the service? Have they got what's available? That experience makes us go back. Makes us go back. And that's how people look online. They're going in and out looking for jobs. They go to job boards, and everyone has the same advert. Everyone has the same advert. They just ping them all out, and everyone sees the same thing. That's not a very good choice, is it? So we got to work on experience, and a mobile responsive website is the starting point. We had a thing called an update, which I won't bore you with because I want to get onto the social stuff. Google updates all the time. The key thing, September the 26th, last year, you've got to have a mobile responsive website. You've got to work on your experience when they walk into your store or they walk into your careers fair online, your job page. How does it feel? How does it feel? Emotion first, then facts and figures next. People think 5 times faster with their emotional part of the brain. We have to connect emotionally, and that means the experience has got to be spot on. So we're moving to a world where social content, service, which is experience, SEO, getting to the top of Google, it all influences each other now. It all influences each other. And actually, if this was animated, it would change to one circle. And it's just bloody good marketing. Google rewards great work. And it recognizes it because your audience will share what you're saying. Digital word-of-mouth marketing. Word-of-mouth marketing is the most powerful form of marketing that exists. Even Jesus Christ used word-of-mouth marketing for his 12 disciples. That's where it started. This guy, David Ogilvy, I will say it wrong. This is where digital marketing is now caught up with traditional. And people always think, well, digital's well ahead of traditional. But in this aspect, it's not. Because this guy says, the consumer isn't a moron, she is your wife. And what he's saying is, care for your audience like you care for your wife. Let's really think about them. Let's think about what they connect with. Let's think about what they read. Let's think about how we engage with them. How hard do you think about when you write your job adverts? Do you change your job adverts for all your different types of people that you're trying to connect with? Do you change the tone, the language? Do you use video? Do you use visual assets? Or is it just, we'll just use that advert again and ping it out to all these different job boards and somebody will come? How hard are you working in that tough fight? So we've got to care for our audience more. We really do have to care. And in the world of marketing, this is where we start. We start understanding who it is we want to speak to. And it's not really some big idea that's not been around for long. This has been around since the 60s and 70s, persona mapping. Who was ever in the room with your teams, got a cup of tea, or if it was in our office, we'd have a bottle of Peroni. We'd like a bottle of Peroni. And actually sat down and said, do you know what? Let's imagine we are our candidate. What is it they're interested in? What problems have they got in their life and their professional life? What questions may they be asking that might show an interest in what we do? What objections have they got from where they work now? Or what objections have they got from where they might come to work to us? How do you answer them? Has anyone ever done that? How do you know what to say? How do you know what to say to them? So one of the things that I urge you to do, and I've got loads of documents that you can all have for this, we'll walk you through it, is do a persona work, and actually it's really fun. You will surprise yourself. It's a persona workshop. The next thing people say is, well, how do we find them? I couldn't find a Star Wars slide for this one, so I just went with Nemo. How do we find them? And this is what the agencies love. How do we find them? How do we find them? How do we find them? And I know you're not agencies, not all of you anyway. So we step into social media, and people come into our office all the time and go, Dave, we're on Pinterest, we're pinning away loads of times, we tweet every day, we're on Facebook, we've just gone into a thing called Instagram, we're not sure what it is, but it's a new social media, it's a silver bullet. And we just go, why? Why? So think of social as this. TV channels, Sky Sports News, especially now the World Cup's on, lads, and I'm missing half the game going home late tonight. Sky Sports News is like the screensaver in our house when you have the remote. Okay? My lovely wife, if it's got Housewives on the end of it, or Kardashian, or Peter Andre, Sky Living, she's all over it. All over it. Different channels. different audience and we market differently to them. So step into the channel where your candidates are. Is anyone interested in teachers? No. Shit. I am. So we're doing some stuff with Capita Education at the moment. And they want teachers. And guess where they are? Where do you think teachers live? Go on, someone shout out. Be brave. Where? Oh, right, okay. I mean online, not in your house. Online, so where do you think they live socially? Oh, come on, have a go, someone. Facebook, okay, thank God for that. We're getting a bit. Facebook, Pinterest is where they are. Because we did persona mapping, and a challenge for teachers is that they want lesson plans. They want variety for the kids. And they're like, holy shit, what are we going to do? We need new lesson plans, what are we going to do? They're all in Pinterest, sharing their lesson plans. So guess which bar I'm walking into? Pinterest. So we put the activity in the channels that your audience is in. And think about it like this. If Carlsberg did networking, imagine you've got 5 pubs in front of you, and all you're going to do is walk into the pub where your audience is. That's all you've got to do. But then when you get into the pub, you're not going to run up to the bar and go, we've got a job, we've got a job, we've got a job, we've got a job. And that's what agencies do all the time. You see tweet walls promoting jobs to the end. If I walked up to you in the pub and said, job, 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 you'd be like, who's this Google Dave idiot? Or Chief Awesome Officer, whatever his name is. We don't do that. Human behaviour, we romance them a little bit. We be nice. We have a little chat. What do you do? Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Fancy a Peroni? We get to know them. We get to know them. That's what you should do in social media. Don't tell them about what you do and how you can help them. Get to know them. And givers gain. In the world of networking, there's a phrase called givers gain. If you give, at some point, they'll reciprocate back. That's human behaviour. Forget that it's a social platform. Walk into the right pub and be nice. And that's really easy for us Scousers. Really easy. Really easy. A little thing here is then, okay, let's do it like we've done the persona workshop. We actually know what our candidates feel like now. We've been empathetic and understood them. Who influences them? Who do we know who already influences them? Where there's a community of them in the right pub. Twitter handles, what journalists do we know? What's going on with PR? What's your marketing team doing? If it was .NET developers, I've got an example of this because we're looking for we aren't, but we're looking for a client for .NET developers. Who influences .NET developers? .NET Magazine and the journalists in .NET Magazine. And I'm going to show you how to search for these people in a minute with some voodoo. You're going to love this. Okay, but we now start thinking a bit 3D about this, thinking, okay, well, who influences these people? And how do we connect? How do we connect with them? This tool is great. It's called Follow a Wonk. Has anyone heard of that? Oh, look, she loves it. Abby, I'm sure Abby's heard of it over there. Little hand went up. Okay. Follow a Wonk. God knows where they got the name from. Yeah. I know you're replacing a few letters in your heads. I know you are. Okay. What this does is, this allows you to look into the pub and see who's interested in the conversations you want to have. It's pretty good stuff. And what this shows is Nationwide Careers, we manage their channel, and their competitors, people who want to get graduates. Oh no, graduates. Does anyone want graduates? God, does anybody want anyone? Does anybody want anyone? What this does, the middle point there where that red arrow is, that is the people who follow all 3 Twitter handles. That's like people going, oh, they're all interested in what they're saying. Maybe we should follow them first. Or maybe we should just swandle over to the bar over there and offer them a drink. Maybe we should be helpful to them. And you can extract these people and start to follow them and start to network. But don't start following them and tap them on the shoulder. And when they turn around, don't just go like that. Do you want a job? Got a job for this? Or do you want that? Got a job for this? You've got to say something of interest. Human behaviour. Yeah? Okay, we'll move on. Follow a Wonk again. This is genius. So I want .NET developers. You can put in keywords and it will search the Twitter sphere for people who influence that world and who talk about that world. Does anyone want .NET developers? Please, someone put your hand up. Thank Christ for that. Here's some. I'll sell you them. I'll do a deal. No. Here's some here. Oh my God. Real life .NET developers. And look, it tells you how many followers they've got, how influential they are, gives you a social authority. So you should start networking with these people. Now, if I was our client, which I am, I wouldn't follow .NET developer. I'd follow their journalists, and I'd reach out in true traditional PR style and say, look, we want to do a survey on X, Y, or Z. Do you fancy doing something with us? We'll make it really cool, blah, blah, blah. And I'll show you some of the examples of ideas, of ways to come up with ideas in a second. So follow along is a great tool, and it tells you when to tweet. So Coronation Street is the most expensive time to advertise on the telly. I hate Coronation Street. The wife loves Coronation Street. Kills Sky Plus. Especially now, because such and such, what's her name's just died, whatever her name, I don't know what it is. But look, this one here, 3 o'clock. That is the best time for me to tweet to my followers, but it only reaches 6%. Yeah? So what that tells me is actually you've got to tweet quite a lot to reach your audience. Yeah? Makes sense? And guess what? You can schedule this stuff. You don't have to be there to do it. It can be scheduled. Check out a tool called Hootsuite. There's a free version. All my tweets are happening now because they're scheduled on Hootsuite. I use it on my phone. And this is super awesome. BuzzSumo. But it's another great name. I don't know who comes up with these names. Why can't they just be obvious, like, find who you want? You know? BuzzSumo. This is genius. God, I love this one. Mark in our office, if you're watching, great find, mate. You can type in your keywords, and it will show you the influencers. And then what it does, you can look at the type of content they like to share. And you go, I know what they like to talk about now. This is like you're going on a hot date and you know what she likes to speak about. This is marvelous. I wish I had this when I was a kid, I tell you what. Really, really great tool. And look, you can sort by journalists and companies and different stuff. So now, okay, this is good. So now we're really starting to find these communities and how we influence them. But then, what are we going to say? This is where people, brands get stuck. It's like, oh God, what are we going to say to these people? They get a bit nervous, you know. They walk into the bar, see the lovely hot woman over there, and they don't know what to say. So what we do is we start with why. Has anyone heard of this guy, Simon Sinek? Yeah? Brilliant, brilliant guy. I'm going to a conference in Boston in September, and he's speaking. Can't wait. Has anyone watched TED Talks? Right, get the TED Talk app. I heard this phrase in a HR thing, which was, education gives you a career, self-development makes you a fortune. And I truly believe that. I truly believe that. This TED Talk is awesome, and he talks about the what, how, and the why. And what he says is people buy why you do it, not what you do. Yeah? People buy why. Apple are brilliant on this, he talks about. He says, Dell do the same thing as Apple. And they say, we make computers, they're really good, and blah, blah, blah. He says, but what Apple do is they start with the why, they start with the emotion, the cause first. And it's scientifically proven that if you start with why emotion, you'll sell better because the brain reacts faster emotionally. And what Apple do is they go, we believe in thinking differently. We make beautiful computers, they're easy to use, they're fantastic, they're beautiful to look at. We also make them super powerful, and he talks about it, moving into the how. We happen to make computers, do you want to buy one? They don't just say we make computers and they've got this much memory and blah, blah, blah. They start with the why. So my challenge to all of you is when you come up with a job advert or a piece of content, or dare I say a visual asset, what is the why for your organisation? Why should I come and work for you? It's not about money. What is it? What's that emotional experience you're going to connect with and go, do you know what? I really want to go and work there. I'm compelled to act. How hard do you work at it? In terms of content and what we say when we go into the pub and when we drop it into the communities and we speak to people who influence the types of candidates that we're looking for, content isn't just written. We have to use different assets to entertain, inspire, educate, or convince people to come and speak to us. It's not just written. So if I want to entertain somebody, A video is a good thing. I've got an example of that in a minute, which I know you can't wait to see. Okay? And what you need to do, from a marketing point of view, is just think of this funnel. You want people to see you, to think about you, and then to do something. See, think, do. And we have smile, so when they're already working with us, we want to make them happier so they become evangelists for us, or Raven fans. I'm sure you've heard of that book. But look, at the C level and the think level, it's more emotional. Entertainment, humour, a bit more emotion. When we move down, it becomes more rational. Okay, I'm going to really think about this now. Actually, you are starting to convince me. But as you'll see, entertain, inspire, educate, convince. It follows the C, think, do. So we have these things, click, click, click. And then we put the assets at the different levels. So now we have proven science and art and a process of how to connect with people. See, think, do. Entertain, inspire, educate, convince into a model. There's now a process, and we build a content plan to engage with our candidates who we spend time understanding at persona stage. If you can't come up with ideas, here's a couple of tools. This one is proper voodoo. You can put words of what you do, nouns in there, and it will give you titles of what to speak about. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And if not, blog aggregators, pull in your subject matter and see what people talk about. It's walking into the pub and doing this. What the hell are they all saying? Good conversationalists listen most of the time because then they know what to say. Or, who uses LinkedIn? There's a lot of hands going up here, isn't there? I knew that would happen. I knew that would happen. Be careful with LinkedIn. Don't kill the golden goose. Outside of recruitment, people are like, whoa, this LinkedIn thing. This Melissa White, right? There's a girl called Melissa White. I've never met her, but God love her. I get about 5 emails from her every single day. Are you recruiting? I feel like she's my ex-wife. LinkedIn, .NET versus Java. This is people, geeky .NET people saying, what's best, .NET versus Java? Let's engage with them. Let's create a survey. Let's create an infographic. Let's video them. Let's really get their opinion and create engaging content and have a conversation of what they're interested in. Passive candidates. We're now making a relationship, not for right now, just in time, or whatever you guys call it, but for the future. Let's make friends with these people. And you know what? There's loads of stuff. How large is your desk? How large is your desk? Couldn't believe it. More monitors. Give me more monitors like this. They think they're in Star Trek. And they really care. Look, it goes on. So why aren't we speaking to them about this stuff? That is like a brief of what to talk about. We could do really contagious, creative content around this, just alone. And do you know what? You wouldn't have to write much because they'd write it for you. You just got to ignite the conversation. That's all you've got to do. It's in LinkedIn. I couldn't believe it. I was like, these guys got nothing else to do, dear me. BuzzSumo again. I'm now looking for the top content. This is brilliant because I could put in social recruitment and I can find the best pieces of content that have been shared the most, digital word of mouth, on the internet. It's telling me what pieces of content are the most contagious. Oh my God. Oh my God. Unilever have a phrase called steal with pride. I'm having them. I'm having them. But you know what? We're going to make them more contagious by creating something remarkable in terms of visual assets, infographics, videos, storytelling. Or I go and speak to whoever they are, ere.net, and say, listen, this has been amazing. Stroke their ego, ego jacking. It's for another day, ego jacking. Love this. Do you know what? If we invest a bit of time, we put a bit of resource and create something really amazing as an asset, will you share it for us? Will you get involved? Happy days. Now, if that was .NET Magazine, I'm suddenly in front of .NET developers. We're thinking differently. We're marketing and connecting to our candidates. But it's got to be contagious. It's no good if you create content and you walk into the pub and there's no one there. But what you want is them to get excited about it and they tell their friends. So I take you shopping for those shoes. Wasn't you, it was you. You go, oh my God, look at these shoes Google Dave's bought. Sorry. Oh my God. The next day you'll go, Google Dave's a beautiful guy. He's bought me these shoes. She's now telling the world. She's sharing the message. And that's what we want online. So this is a social test we've just done for Capital Education. And this is a cool little test that we've done. It's quite quirky. It's 5 questions, and guess what? We're almost assessing people as we go. Holy cow. And it goes, you're 91% like Einstein. So we've gone C. We've dropped it into the pool. C level. Well, this is, I'll have a little thing, a bit of humour. Yeah, I don't mind a bit of humour. Some teachers are humorous, apparently. They like a bit of a giggle. I'll have to do that. And then it comes out, and look, share this result. Tell your friends what you're most like. And we've got like the mad professor guy from Back to the Future and all that. But we're creating assets that will connect and then become contagious to the community we want to engage with. Yeah. Infographics. Anyone done infographics? Oh, man. Dear me. Can everyone just put their hands up once for me? Hey! Yeah, go on. So infographics are a great way of connecting. We do the graduate recruitment online for Nationwide. We do not talk about graduate programs. We help students out. Students love to spend money, and they go traveling around. So we did a whole infographic series, and it went down here, about where to go backpacking. And do you know what we did to design that infographic? We engaged the audience first and said, where do you recommend to go to such and such? If you've been backpacking before, what bar did you go into? So we got the audience to give us the information for the infographic. So we engaged them, we interviewed them, we asked them questions, and when we put the infographic out, they all shared it, the university shared it, and guess what brand was in front of them all? Nationwide. So we needed to recruit some people, and we were like, do you know what? Let's put some proof into the pudding here. Let's do something a little bit different. So we stepped into the pub, and we wanted to employ business development people. Okay, yeah, we do employ business development people. I know, amazing. And we're like, okay, where do they hang out online? What do they do? Account managers, account directors, digital agencies, maybe a few recruitment people, because they're quite sales-driven. I'm sure you've all witnessed that and felt that in your time. But we're going to create something a little bit different. So we stepped into the pub, we made friends for 8 weeks. We followed people, we had something interesting to say. We helped their content get shared. And when we created this video, we were a little bit daring, and we thought, you know what, we'll do something that maybe might help us find some people, so we did this video.
So you think you got what it takes?
Anytime, anywhere.
We work Jewish holidays?
Anytime, anywhere.
The elite. Best of the best. We'll make it better.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
And this'll all be mine?
Everything.
Everything the light touches.
Gold, frankincense, myrrh.
Well, why didn't you say he's over there?
Do you mean that you lied on your application?
No. Well, yeah, oh, yes. Only to get my foot in the door.
Bueller, I'm looking for the least possible amount of responsibility.
Show me the money!
Nobody's ever talked to me like that before. You're hired.
Shit.
Okay, so we did that. We did that. And within 7 days, we had 2 people. No, I mean, we recruited 2 people. From us, Frey. Dear me. But what we did with that video is we entertained, we inspired a little bit, we did a little bit of education possibly, and in the end it was apply now. So one asset can do the whole thing. But we thought about the personas, we stepped into the right pub, we helped them out for 8 weeks, we created a visual asset that was a little bit contagious, and it did what it wanted. We thought differently. We've lived on that video, and there's a new one coming, just you watch, just you watch. So, very quickly to round off, bit of a boring stuff, but everyone says to you, what about the ROI? How do we measure this stuff? I can hear you saying, yeah, but the business wants to know the ROI and the FD and the exec boards and blah, blah, blah. And that's fair enough, because in our world, everything's measurable. If I don't have an ROI for Tesco's Dulux, I'm dead. I would not be here now. A couple of things, simple stuff in terms of social media for metrics. I'm not going to focus on that, but you can have that matrix. Think about traffic, audience, conversation, amplification, and applause, and it says what they are. Just measure them. They're like the softer ones. But then we want to know ROI. And in analytics, I'm not going to get technical, you can measure the value of social and the content to your applications. Socially assisted conversions in your world would be socially assisted applications. Okay? But the thing is, in marketing, you have to think in terms of what we call attribution. Because when we went shopping for those shoes, we went into the first shop, and we definitely didn't buy the first pair you saw. We went in and out different shops. I took you to Liverpool 1 as well, so we went for a few drinks in between. The match was on. The match was on, so I said, go on, you carry on shopping, I'll come back. In and out lots of different shops. I'm getting cramp. I always get cramp in my left foot. It's weird. But what I'm doing, and then we go back to the end. And when we buy them, people think of, that's the point of conversion. That's when the application happened. But actually, when we went all the way back to the first shop, that was the point when we first saw them. The attribution, you get touched different times in marketing, up to 7 times before you make a decision. You measure that online. So here, for example, somebody came into my job post, if you like, into my job page, via Twitter, and left. They then came back 3 times, typing in the brand name of the company, or, I don't know, let's say it's tescoscareers.com. 3 times. So they touched the site 4 times, and we had 4 applications. But they first came to the site via social media, and you have to keep that measurement, otherwise your boards above you won't believe the ROI of social, but it is there. You have to know how to go and do it. It's called social attribution. So ultimately, it's about content at the right place at the right time, and it's how hard are you prepared to work hard and get organised. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes resource. But you have to work to be remarkable. It's a tough fight out there. I hear this phrase, the war on talent. How armed are you for that war? How much do you want to be remarkable? Seth Godin's book, The Purple Cow. If you haven't read it, check it out. It's a brilliant book. How hard do you work to give your candidates goosebumps? People forget what you said or did, but they won't forget how you made them feel. Aim to give your candidates goosebumps. Thanks very much.